Hey, good morning. Welcome to day 5 of the Healthy Habit Week. I'm so excited today. We have a special guest speaker, Rhonda Ryder. She is the author of this book, Delicious Alignment. She's got a huge Facebook group and she has a lot of stuff going on. But she works with women who want to release pounds. And I'm one of the women that are featured in this book. She interviewed 25 women. And I'm so excited because she brings such depth and breadth to everything that we've talked about this week, starting on Monday with getting more movement. Day 2, getting outside. Day 3, we talked about conscious, intentional, mindful eating. Day 4 is getting good sleep. And all of it really leads up to we've got to feel good. We have to be in a high vibration or nothing's really going to happen. So I just want to take our time to turn it over to Rhonda and just let her speak to you about the book, the 6 steps, and anything else she wants to share with us. Yay, Rhonda, you look great today.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Hi, Tami. Great to see you. Yeah, it has been a while, so it's wonderful to see your face and chat with you and see all the wonderful things you've been doing with your work and helping women and a few men, right? There are always some men in there, which we love that too.
We love that.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, where would you like me to start? Just well, let me say this. I love what you said about it's all about feeling good and your vibration. And because working with my group and individually with people, it's all about the vibration. And what we mean by vibration is feeling good. Simply, it's just feeling happy, but of course we're not going to feel happy all the time. I mean, that's a goal that's maybe a little bit we're human, right? So we're going to have different experiences, but we
Right.
call it alignment. I call it alignment. I think you call it alignment sometimes, feeling good. So getting in alignment. In fact, the first step of my book, there the 5 steps, and the first one is get off the scale and get in alignment. And yeah, and it's not to say that getting on the scale is like you shouldn't get on the scale. It really was just a way of saying alignment, make alignment your number one priority because
Exactly. Like
yeah,
I only get on the scale and I know it's going to make me feel good because I know that I release pounds.
right, right. And some people just really are into that. They get on the scale and it makes it doesn't cause like it doesn't trigger them if it's not exactly what they wanted to see. Some people this weighing themselves it works for them. I'm not one of those people. I just don't do that. I tell by my clothes and all of that. But if I am getting smaller or whatever. I don't even like to say releasing weight anymore. At first I was like, okay, I'm not going to say losing weight because it's like if you lose something, then you're going to find it again. So then it was releasing weight. And then it's like, well, it's sort of the same thing. So I don't know what to call it. I think it's more like, you know, the outcome that you want, like getting more fit or feeling more energetic. What is the outcome that you want and focus on that because it's all about what you're focusing on.
Yeah, that's really good insight.
Yeah,
Exactly what you're focusing on. And
yeah. So if you're focusing on, oh, I hate my body, oh, I ate too much last night, I'm never going to reach my goal. I mean, these are all things I know very well because that's I have lost or released, whatever you want to say, 30 pounds through this whole process. But, I come from a place where I was obsessed with my body, obsessed with food, a lot of depression over the years about this subject. A lot of, I was a binge eater. So this work has really helped me to understand and start being nicer and kinder to myself, which is so important. That's really one of the major things is when you start seeing progress, it's just learning how to be kinder to yourself. So when you start beating yourself up, oh, I look terrible, or oh, I ate too much, all those kind of things that we do to ourselves. It's just like learning how to soothe yourself, learning how to, you have a thought that is negative and then either changing the thought or thinking a better thought. um, and I do a process called the evoke method, which also it really helps people. It's created by Gina Mallison, and it helps. It just is, to me, it's like a shortcut right to that better feeling place, to feeling better, to learning how to feel those feelings. It's really about emotions. We're so practiced at feeling these bad feelings. Um, and I don't want to say that for everyone, but everyone who can relate to this, we're so practiced for feeling these bad feelings. So let's get practiced in feeling good feelings, good emotions. Then that in itself is really can be the kickoff place, the jumpstart for an incredible transformation. And not only physically, because the emotional, that's where it starts.
Exactly. Exactly. We have trapped emotions. We get stuck in that feeling guilty and why can't I stay on a diet and deprive myself and starve? And yeah, we just beat ourselves up. You're so right on that we have to start there. Definitely the kickoff.
Yeah. And that's what the book is really about. It's about really self-love, because I started out writing this book because I wanted to interview women who actually um, lost weight, released pounds, got to their goal, whatever you want to call it, through a spiritual pathway. Okay, whatever you want to call it, God, goddess, whatever your name is. We call it inner being, and it's, to me, it's the same. Sometimes I say God. It's really a personal thing. And so I wanted to interview women who got there through that way, not through diet culture, or diets, because I found along the way that dieting was kind of like messing me up, or it messed me up through the years. And I talked to so many women who felt the same way. They were like over the dieting mentality, but on the same hand, they wanted to eat better. They wanted to feel better about their bodies. And so on this journey of interviewing these women, what I learned that really it's about self-love.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it's totally about, that's what it's about. And you can go on a diet per se and just still hate yourself. And so ultimately, um it's not really going to get you that far, or you're going to go revert back to null behavior or judging your behavior.
Exactly.
Right. So yes, there's nothing wrong about choosing a food plan that, or choosing a way of eating that is calling you, that feels good to you. But when you combine that with like actually being inspired, like I'm getting inspired to follow this, I'm getting inspired to do Weight Watchers, I'm getting inspired to follow Tami's program on, because I'm really resonating with Tami and what she's teaching, so inspired, looking for that inspiration instead of like forcing the behavior. So this is not about, book is not about behavior modification. It's about learning to love yourself, learning to talk to yourself in a nicer, kinder way, like you would talk to a best friend, somebody you love. You wouldn't say to your friend, "Oh, what did you eat? I can't believe you're eating all that. Oh my God, that's really gluttonous. That's really like, what is wrong with you?" Like, if you're of sane mind, you really wouldn't say those things that we say to ourselves. You know,
Exactly. We need to be our best friend.
yeah, right, exactly. And um, going through, both sides of the coin, beating myself up for years and years and decades, really, and then on the other side, just really practicing that self-love. Um and it's such an important piece of it is also, that connection with spirit and meditation and all that kind of thing that helps calm you down, helps connect you to, infinite wisdom, infinite everything, and just being guided by that it changes the whole entire ball game.
It definitely does. That was definitely my turning point when I realized that everything that I need can come from within. And when I started just calming myself, releasing the stress, and just becoming more peaceful and loving and getting the stressors, the major stressors that I could identify out of my life. I mean, everything is completely different now. I can feel the resonance with certain foods, and I know which foods are going to make me feel good and which ones are going to plummet me into depression and stress. So,
Yeah,
yeah. And
that's so great. I love how you talk about that, how you're attracted to certain foods, and it's always evolving too. It's always unfolding. The journey is unfolding.
exactly.
Yeah, I know, as you said, I interviewed you. You're one of the 25 women in my book who released a bunch of weight, and really you saw that in all of your blood sugar and your blood pressure, and I mean everything. I know there's many other health benefits that you received.
Oh,
And
yeah. And that's been a few years because it's even better now. I've let go of more pounds and I'm not on any medications. I mean, everything is great. I mean, I feel happy and I'm just at peace. There were a lot of things, other than food in my life that I needed to change. I
right,
know that you're really big on nature and getting outside. You,
yeah,
you do yoga and movement, and everything is like we talked about earlier, getting yourself to feel good.
right. And that is the first step is, get off the scale and get in alignment, but it's really about making alignment your number one priority. So for me, I have available certain, and everyone has available to them diff, different tools that work for them. Yes, for me, I mean, I love to go out and hike, not during the winter so much, or even the summer. So I got to find a way. You can go up to higher, elevations, and it's like 10 degrees or 15 degrees cooler. Here, I live
Oh,
in the mountains. And so making alignment your number one priority is what I always tell, in my group and my individual coaching, like, let's start there, because they always want to start with the food. And I say, well, actually, um, forcing yourself to eat a certain way and setting yourself a lot of, like, I was talking to someone last night, a coaching client during a session, and she was talking about how, she gets home late from work, and then, she's going to eat her dinner then. And she wants to she wants to do, like, 14-hour in between meals, like do sort of like intermittent fasting. So, but
Okay.
then, so she's like, okay, I'm going to eat at 8 o'clock at night, and I want to be done by 9. I no more eating after that. And then I don't want to eat too many sweets or carbs. And then she's so hungry, she comes home and she eats some sweets and carbs. And then she is mad at herself, and kind of being that critical voice comes in. So, I suggested to her that this week, just put all that aside, and how about just focus on alignment, focus on your alignment, focus on feeling good this week. So what are the things that make you feel good? um, you can get some sessions, evoke method sessions with me, and we'll calibrate you. I call it calibrating, where we move up the, if you're down here at a lower emotion, you move up to a higher emotion. um, Go out and what is it that makes you feel better? Whatever it is, find out those things, or really dedicate yourself to feeling better, getting to not necessarily happy. It can just be peaceful, it can be relaxed, it can be, appreciation is a great way. I love, for me, like writing an appreciation list, like writing 20 things that I appreciate right away, makes me feel better emotionally, gets me up that emotional vibrational scale to better feeling emotions. So I have just really gotten better and better at that over the years, right? You start building momentum and you get better and better at it. You begin to master feeling better. I mean, that's amazing coming from someone like me who had, some major depression that would last like months, sometimes a week, and, you know,
Years.
years. I mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So it's really, really amazing to me that I could feel so good, and I still have, um, I might still have a moment here or there, or a day, but it does not last like that, because I've built so much momentum, and I've gotten so used to feeling better that the toleration of not feeling good is less. Like I'm not gonna, like, no, 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 I'm not, I don't want to be down there.
Oh, yes. Amen to that.
Yeah, right. Not gonna put up with that anymore. Have too much momentum of feeling better. So it's definitely possible, for anyone that's listening that has felt like, um, this is not possible for me. It's possible to not only feel better, it's possible to make headway and with how you want to feel in your body. Yeah, I just love it. And so the next step is actually start a love affair with your body. And I love that step because many of us, that is a tall order. We don't really have experience in that. We're all in different places on the, spectrum as far as loving our body. Like you may love your body, um, but you may have a hard time with your food choices still. You may have a love-hate relationship with food, and that's actually the next step. So that's make friends with food. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But no, that's actually step 4. So starting a love affair with your body it's just really an incredible journey, because like now I can actually say I mean I love my body, like cellulite and all. you know I'm Yes, I released 30 pounds, and, sure, I'd like to maybe release more and get more fit, but like I love my body. I love my body. Like it I'm not looking for that perfect figure anymore. Like I'm not, don't get me wrong. I like to dress up. I like nice clothes. I like to um look good and all of that, but it's not about looking in the mirror and going, "Oh my God, you don't look like the way that society says you're supposed to look like." I mean, things are getting so much better now. They're more body positivity messages, and we are as a society embracing women of all sizes as beautiful. Like it's starting. It's really some movement in that area. So I'm so happy about that. However, there's all this residual stuff that we were indoctrinated over, our whole childhood to adulthood, that we're supposed to look a certain way. And so that there's still so much of that there. And
Well, and yeah, I mean, sometimes too, it just means finding that peace from step one to, because sometimes we can look in the mirror and we don't see what's actually there. And we make it worse for some reason, but yeah, just embrace all the lumps and bumps and watch them melt away.
watch them melt away. Yeah, you can. And like, I believe that loving yourself is the key. I really do. Alignment, loving yourself, and feeling that you're worthy. I just think that a lot of it's like any kind of drug addiction, alcoholism, anything like that. I just really think it's part of this self-hatred, or somehow self-criticism that um we picked up along the way. So it's self-love and connection to, your spiritual side, your inner being, God. And why do it by yourself? Why do it on your own when you have this connection available to you that's going to guide you? This connection understands, sees the whole picture. Sees you as as you want to be, and knows the easiest pathway for you to get there. So why not, close your eyes and tap in and listen to those messages and start following your intuition more. Like when you're standing in front of the refrigerator, it's like, okay, what should I eat? What do I want? And not like just judging yourself if you reach for something that you think, oh, maybe your body's craving that for a certain reason. Maybe your body wants some sugar for a certain reason. It's like, because it's used to it. So, just like allowing and more peace. Yeah. And the third step is creating a new story, as I know. You love that one, and everybody loves that one.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Right. It is. A lot of people say that is their favorite step, because we're identifying like what the stories are that are actually running us. Like if you just start to pay attention to what's coming out of your mouth and what you're saying, to your friends, to yourself, what are you saying? Those are the stories that you're telling yourself, and they are self-fulfilling prophecies. So for instance, if you notice that you say this a lot, something like, oh, it's really hard to lose weight. I'm just, it's got to be like my thyroid. I think I've got an issue, and I can't lose weight. I don't know. No matter what what I do, no matter what I try, I can't. So
That was me.
yes. So okay. So you may say, oh well, medically that's true though. Okay, but just understand, this is a story that you are telling. And if you believe that we often create our own reality with our words, then you are creating your own reality by saying this. By constantly telling that story, you are creating it. So we identify, and sometimes it's so hard to identify your stories because they're automatic. You're automatically sharing it with people, and we're not even self-aware of what we're saying because it's just so automatic, and we've been telling this story for so many years. So that's why it's great where we can listen to each other, like in my group or whatever, and we can listen to each other and we can pick up on, oh, wait, what did you just say? And just like slow it down, like press pause, slow it down, and like read that back to you. Like, this is what you just said. So just understand that this is a story that you're telling, and that you're creating that story. So would you like to change that story? Would you like to transform it? So there's a little bit of a process there on how to create a new story. And I don't, do you want me to just go down real quick then? I don't, the rest of the steps really quick?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we have as much time as you need, so
Oh,
whatever you want to say.
okay. Well,
I know creating a new story, it was fundamental in my changes. I
yeah,
had to stop telling those old stories. And now, even when I bring them up to tell people where I came from, I can feel the drop in my vibration. But I
right.
immediately go into my new story. So,
That's so interesting that you said that, because I'm going to start a podcast, like sort of like a continuation of the book. We're going to interview women.
okay.
Not all of them will, like my first guest is not necessarily someone who, I mean, she hasn't like doesn't have a before and after story. She's just at her ideal weight, but she's just a master at creating. But for the most part, I'm going to be interviewing women that have um like in the book, have lost weight and have, through spiritual connection and all of that. So we were talking about it. I was talking about with her, and she said, yeah, you don't want to focus too much on the negative before story, because it brings the vibration down. It brings the whole thing down. So I'm just gonna like touch on the, okay, like the facts. This person was at this weight, they're now at this, they're done this, and this is how they did it, and really focus on that, on the positive stuff. So I love that you said that.
Yeah, because now when I tell that story in my mind, I feel like I'm talking about someone else because I'm so different now.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And it actually brings your alignment down a couple of notches. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So create a new story. That's step 3. And then step 4 is make friends with food. And that is actually one of my favorites because I find that many people are not enjoying their food. They're not even celebrating their food. I teach women to celebrate their food and like enjoy it. I mean, there's even a little bit in here in this chapter about orgasmic eating. It's like being a little funny, but it's like, really think about it. I mean, your taste buds are meant to help you find pleasure out of this experience. And many of us are denying ourselves because we got such a dysfunctional relationship with food, because we got all this other stuff mixed in there, guilt and judgment, like we've been talking about. One woman I was working with, she she didn't enjoy her food. She just really wanted to lose weight so badly, but she wasn't enjoying her food at all. Her husband would make the meals, so she was grateful for that. But because he was making the meals, she didn't really feel like she deserved to make any requests about what she liked or what she wanted because he was doing all the cooking. So she just ate whatever he made. She didn't really necessarily like it or enjoy it. And then when I was working with her, and we uncovered that she wasn't really enjoying food at all. She was just wanting, because she's wanting to lose weight, so she's not thinking that she can enjoy the food. The husband's making the foods, and not any. She doesn't feel like she deserves to say what she wants. So we worked on her really enjoying her food, and just even celebrating the food. So when I see someone begin that process and they're starting to like really savor their food and enjoy it, it's what I just get so excited. I love it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. All the colors, the aroma, the taste, I mean, everything. And
Yeah.
that brings us into a calm state. And it really helps our digestion anyway, to come from the nutrition point of it.
Yeah, you're really good with all of that because you have recipes and you really uh, you celebrate food. You're a wonderful example, celebrating food and the colors and the sunshine. This is sunshine when I'm eating, something like that. Yeah, that you say. And that's but a lot of women don't have that. They don't
Oh,
celebrate.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, right.
for years, I did the dried up box meals and things like that because I wanted to lose weight so desperately. But of course, they made me feel horrible. So,
Yeah. And for me, it was like, well, I'm not going to celebrate my food because I was embarrassed. Like, of course she loves food. Look at her. I would think of like what
oh,
judging me, like, oh, of course she loves food.
yeah, good point. Other people judging you.
So
Yeah.
I would never like publicly say, oh, this is so good, or oh my God. That. Oh, like, wow. Like never do that because I was like, yeah, I was thinking, I was embarrassed of,
Oh, you're reminding me of that movie. I'll have what she's having.
right, right. Yeah. When Harry met Sally. Yeah. Yes. So there's all different reasons why. And some women have this. They enjoy their food. They're comfortable with that. They enjoy their bodies. They're proud of their bodies at any size. And I love, that's where we want to get to. That's the self-love we're talking about, is being comfortable in your own skin at any size. There's no wrong size. We even teach that there's no good or bad foods, and that's like a very controversial subject. But because when you're eating a food, when you're eating something, and if you're judging it and you're having all this negative self chatter about it, it really lowers your emotional, your vibration. And what does that do? There are some people that think it's the thoughts that are more important, the thoughts about what you're eating, or even that those matter as well.
Oh, it definitely matters because depending on who you talk to, you're going to get all kinds of different plans on what you should be eating and what you should feel bad about eating. And I
Yeah,
mean, that's our diet culture right at work there.
yeah,
So,
that's why it's so important to start out, in my opinion, with being gentle on yourself, beginning to soothe yourself when you do have something and you find yourself judging yourself, to start that dialogue with yourself, like, it's okay. you, so what, I had a cupcake. I mean, like, just start talking to yourself and soothing yourself. Because I remember my first coach was like a spiritual slash um, food coach and weight loss coach. And so I would call her up for our session, and she'd say, "So how are you?" And I like, "Well, I ate all these little cups like of bread pudding. I had like 3 of them last night, and they weren't even mine because my dad lives with us. They were my dad, so I ate his bread pudding." And I'm like, so, I was feeling, this is the beginnings, I was feeling like, like I failed again. And she's like, "Oh, so you ate the bread pudding?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Well, was it good?" And "Yeah, it was good." And she's like, "Great. So you enjoyed it?" I was like, "Yeah." And so, like, getting more and more used to that kind of thinking, so that I heard her voice in my head when I would eat something that I thought, "Oh, I shouldn't have eaten that." And then I say, "Well, so what?" And I started saying that to myself. "So what? Did you enjoy it?" "Yeah, it was good." So then I really started enjoying it more if I did have it. So the it's so funny that the less you judge yourself and the more you love yourself, the less you do that anyway. The less I like overate. Like, to me, overeating is like, I'm full, and I really don't, my my body is full and satiated, and yet I'm still eating, or to me, that's for me personally. And so the less I did that when I started to be easier on myself.
Exactly, because I found myself that when I was depressed or when I was stressed or I was trying to use food to fix those feelings when food doesn't do that for me.
It For me, it was a
Yeah,
numbing, like
yeah,
TV and some snacks. That's, I would use that to just block out whatever triggered me emotionally. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I definitely relate because I would try that and do that for years, but it didn't work.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know you have wonderful resources for people about enjoying food and foods and recipes, and I love that because it's like really celebrating your food so much. Yeah. So should I go on to step 5, the last step?
Yes, yes. For some reason, I thought there was a sixth one, so I'm sorry I messed that up in the
Oh, that's no
introduction,
problem.
but we'll just make up number six.
Maybe,
Go,
maybe there's a sixth step coming in
go
too.
for it. Go for it, Rhonda.
um, so step 5 is build momentum toward the body that you want. So again, it's all of those things combined. Um, Alignment, loving yourself, becoming a friend to yourself, becoming, making friends with food, celebrating your food, and then building momentum. So as you start to do all of these things, you start to gain mastery at feeling better, being a friend to yourself. You start gaining mastery at all of these things, and then something clicks, and along the way, and it's really not about the food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah. It's not about the action journey, the outside journey. It's about the inner journey. The inner journey. And you don't need to figure out why am I overeating, or why can't I lose weight, or why did this happen to me, or why did that? You know, that's not what I'm talking about. The inner journey I'm talking about is connecting with infinite wisdom, whatever you call God, do meditating, or your higher power. It doesn't have to be, it could, like they say in 12-step programs, it could be a chair. I mean, if you don't believe in God, but just connecting with something, just quieting your mind and meditating. That's, one way to really connect. And then using that connection, and then start really gaining mastery at listening to your intuition, listening to your body, being aware of your emotions, and knowing that it's about your emotions, and how can I feel better right now? How can I feel better right now? And what about now? What do I feel like doing? Just, I love that question as I go throughout the day. Like, what do I feel like working on now? If I'm working, what do I feel like? Okay, now noticing I'm starting to get a little antsy. This doesn't feel good anymore. Well, maybe it's time to take a break, or really getting in tune with your body and your spirit. That is, like, that's it.
I mean, that really is everything. That's
Hmm.
amazing. Yeah. I'm so happy that you did this book, and I'm looking forward to your podcast.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, we'll have you on.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I love having people on well, I haven't done it yet, but I've had you on as a guest, and other
Right,
people,
right.
yeah, who are in the book. Actually, in the book, you're a live person. You exist.
I know, because when people look at these books, sometimes they are thinking, are those real people?
Yes, yes, they're all real, all real. And so I love having. I'll have definitely have as many as I can get that are open to being on a podcast. I mean, not everyone is open to that or comfortable with that, but
Well, and it depends, right? Yeah.
yeah.
You know me, I love chatting. So,
Yeah.
Rhonda, you're so amazing. I'm so thankful that you put this book together. You're helping so many women and a few men
Yes. Welcome.
drop in there. So, yeah, we love them too.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, is there
Thank you.
anything else that you want to say, or?
Oh, well, I have a Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/delicious alignment hyphen Abraham Hicks. And I have that's free. So we talk about this stuff all day long.
Okay.
And then I have a gift for
Oh, good.
anyone that would like it. It's really, this is really cool. I made 3 10-minute visualizations. So it's my voice doing the guiding you. It's a guided meditation, pretty much, visualization, and it's set to music. So you can just, like, relax and close your eyes and listen to um, whichever ones you want to, or you could just start out with the first one. And the first one is love your body. And it really is like, it's also like forgive yourself for all the times that you've criticized yourself and you weren't very nice to yourself. And forget if you have anything chatter about your body, or like forgiving your body. Like, it's just a beautiful meditation visualization about loving yourself and forgiving yourself. And then the next one is designing your desired body, where you actually are, I'll take you through an exercise of, like, pretending like you're an artist and you're sketching out your ideal body, and you just kind of meditate on that. And then the third one is imagine your desired body. So just like imagining that you are at that um, ideal weight, you're embodying it, so to speak. And I always recommend that you want to do these when you're feeling good, when it feels good to do so, not when like you're like forcing yourself to do it. It's all about being in the right state of mind to do these. So anyway, to get it, it's deliciousalignment.com/imagine to sign up for those and get those free visualizations.
And they are wonderful. I listen to them all the time while I'm falling asleep. Sometimes I'll even drift off into sleep, but they're still playing. But you did a really good job on those. I love them.
Thank
So
you.
I'll put the link also below this video when I send it out for everyone to get those. Yeah. So, okay. Well, that's delicious alignment. Rhonda Ryder. Thank you so much, Rhonda. You're amazing.
Aw,
Really,
thank you.
yeah, you look great and love you. And thank you so much.
Love you too. Thank you. All right.
All right.